Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. So hopefully you did the Google form for today, and then the SD mystery, and then you watched the videos. If you watch the videos, you can tell we are starting with division of unit fractions and whole numbers. We're going to divide unit fractions by whole numbers, and then we're going to learn how to divide whole numbers by unit fractions. It's really pretty easy. It's really pretty easy. The only difficulty you have is to figure out, are we dividing the unit fraction or the whole number? That is a good question, Carly. What is a unit fraction? Anybody know what a unit fraction is? Awesome, thank you, Sophia. A unit fraction is a fraction with a numerator of 1. Unit means 1. So 1/8, 1/10, 1/2. Those are unit fractions. They have a numerator of 1. So this year, all you're going to be required to know is division of whole numbers by unit fractions and unit fractions by whole numbers. That's it this year. Now, when you started learning multiplication, you first learned with pictures or beans that you put in groups and things like that. So what we start with when we're doing division of unit fractions by whole numbers, we're going to start with pictures like you did when you were doing multiplication, like we did when we were adding and subtracting fractions, so on and so forth. Back in my day, when I was a Ute, I don't know why we did this. They just showed us the standard algorithm. This is what you do. Just do it. Like, all right, cool. I can follow directions. And so I would just do it. I never knew why until I started teaching it this way, when they told us we had to start teaching this way. So let's look at 1/2 divided by 3. So what we have here is our fraction pieces for 1/2. Now this is how the story goes. Tenley goes to the store. She buys a sandwich. Tenley eats half of that sandwich. And then Sophia and Yagel and Carly, they come up and they're like, can I have the other half? Can I have the other half? Can I have the other half? And Tenley says, well, I really don't like any of you, so I'm not going to give any of you the half of the sandwich, but I'll give each of you 1/3 of the half. So this is what she has left, this half of the sandwich, and she's going to give each of them 1/3 of this. Are they getting 1/3 of the sandwich? No.
They're getting a seat.
They're getting 1/3 of what? 1/3 of half. 1/3 of half of a sandwich. So this is 1/3. Are they getting this much? No. Because 1/3 would be 1/3 of the whole sandwich. And they're not getting 1/3 of the sandwich. They're getting 1/3 of the half of a sandwich. So Carly is getting this much of the sandwich. But in order to know how much of the whole sandwich that Carly gets, we need to imagine that this whole sandwich was cut into the same amount of parts, pieces. Okay? So if the whole sandwich was cut like this, how many pieces would there be? 6. And how many pieces is Carly eating? 1. The trick is to remember you can't just say, oh, she's eating 1/3 of the sandwich, because she's not. She's eating 1/3 of a half. Yes, ma'am.
Could you, I don't know if you could do it this way, but could you take divide the numerator, just like only the numerator by the whole number, and get the answer?
It's a darn good question, and I'm going to show you right now the standard algorithm. The standard algorithm, how I learned how to do it, is they said, Damon, this is how you do it. Remember this, keep, change, and flip. I'm like, all right, keep, change, flip. I can remember that. I can remember that. But in order for keep, change, flip to work, we have to have 3 as a fraction. So how would I make 3 a fraction?
3 over 1.
3 over 1. Anything over 1, any whole number over 1 makes it a fraction. Now keep, change, flip works like this. Keep the first fraction the same. So we're staying 1/2. The second, where it says change, we change the division to multiplication. And the flip means we flip the other fraction over, so then it becomes 1/3. Then when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across and you'd get 1/6, just like we did with the picture. Now back in my day, 1914, when I was in school, I started school in 1492 on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, but I didn't get to fractions until 1914. So it took a while. But back in my day, they said, do this. So I did it. I had no idea why I was doing this. I had no idea why it worked. And then they gave me assignments, and they said it, and I did well because I can follow these instructions. Which you guys could all follow those instructions too. Easy. However, you guys will be responsible for knowing how to identify a picture as well. And hopefully you did watch the videos. Hopefully you did. If not, I didn't delete them. So that they're still there, because they show different ways to do pictures on there. Number lines, all sorts of fun things. Fraction strips. So let's look at a different problem. We have 1/5 divided by 2. Now this time Tenley goes and buys a sandwich. Tenley eats 4/5 of this sandwich. Tenley's very hungry this time. Now once again, Sophia, Carly, and Yagel come over and they want what's left of that sandwich. They want this 1/5. Now Tenley punches Yagel in the nose, and he goes to the hospital, so he cannot have that part of the sandwich. So then she says, all right, Sophia and Carly, I will take my 1/5, and I will make it into 2 pieces, and I will give you each one of those 2 pieces. But Carly's like, well, that's really small. How much of this whole sandwich did I really get? So then she has to figure out, if we cut every 5th into 2 pieces, we figure out how many pieces there would be in total. How many pieces would there be in total? 10. And Carly had this much, so Carly had 1/10 of the pizza. Now looking at standard algorithm, keep, change, flip, we're going to get the same thing, 1/10. I told you last week or the week before, multiplying and dividing with fractions is a million times easier than adding and subtracting. We don't have to find the common denominators, which is sometimes a beating. You just don't have to. It makes it easier. If you didn't watch those videos, I strongly encourage you to do so. All right. Now, Tenley goes to the store She goes again. She's hungry. Leave the girl alone. She worked hard today and got her work done, so therefore she got hungry. All right, so Tenley goes to the store. She buys a sandwich. Tenley eats 3/4 of the sandwich because we're only using unit fractions now. And so she takes the 1/4 of a sandwich. And since Yogel's gone, Yogel's gone, Kason, Chloe, and Haley come over and they're like, I know you hit Yogel in the nose, so please don't hit us. But can we have some of that sandwich? And because Tenley's such a good, nice young lady,
Are you sure?
she says, I will take the 1/4 of the sandwich I have left and give you each an equal portion of that 1/4.
Everybody gets a sandwich.
But then,
I come along.
Thomas is like, that's not very much sandwich. And Jordan's like, it's 1/3. And Thomas is like, no, it's not.
And they start fighting.
It's 1/3 of this. Duh, Thomas. Duh, Jordan. We divided 1/4 into 3 parts, not the whole thing into 3 parts, Jordan.
Ow.
So then Thomas has to draw Jordan a picture to show him. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And he goes, look, Jordan, I'm going to talk slowly to you and use small words. Okay, sandwich, 1/4, 3 pieces. Whole sandwich, how many equal pieces? 12 pieces in sandwich. 3 pieces in 1/4 of sandwich. 12 pieces in whole sandwich.
Yeah, me use caveman talk. I'm a smart man. I use caveman talk. I like sandwiches.
So, Kason ate 1/12 of the entire sandwich. 1/12 of the entire sandwich is what Kason ate.
And then I come along. What was that? You don't like lettuce?
Boom! Shakalaka, peace out. God bless. Love you. Do something kind today. Save the bees.